people judge products based on how they smell.
Our sense of smell is directly connected to the limbic system responsible for memories and emotion. Who hasn't had the experience of smelling something and having it bring back a really visceral memory?
I love that you gave us tips on how to make fragrance last longer.
If you layer different products, so if you use the shampoo and then the conditioner and then the styling product, that's going to cause the scent to last longer and last you throughout the day.
With Aveda, it's just a different experience, and it was all about, it's a multi-sensorial experience, and I love that the sense of smell is such a huge part of it.
Aveda's mission towards sustainability really drives every decision that we make.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Main Talk, brought to you by HairMNL, your main authority in partnership with Aveda. My name is Kelly Misa, and I will be your host for this event, and I'm very excited to be here and to start up this wonderful discussion for Main Talk. With me is a very special guest. We are very lucky to have her with us today. Let me introduce her. Okay, so she is a biochemist who has a master's degree for scent design at the IPCA Perfumery in France. She has invested years in exploring the aromatherapeutic properties of plants as part of the botanical lab of Aveda. And she has been doing her part to make a better world by working closely with farmers and producers to find these rare and exceptional scents for all of us. Let me introduce to you the principal perfumer at Aveda. Say hello to Kelly Rosso. Hello, Kate.
Hi, everyone.
How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thanks, Kelly. Nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you, and it's so wonderful to have you with us here today. And we have so much to talk about. I'm very excited. Okay, so to everyone watching, this is going to be an exceptional webinar, and I'm very excited to start this discussion. As we've all noticed today, there are many things that are stirring up the world, and if you're like me, you're probably looking for a space of calm and positivity amid all of this. On this main talk, we will explore how we can cultivate a better environment for ourselves and the people we love through the power of scents. Our sense of smell is deeply rooted in our psyche. So let's find out what certain scents can do for us and what some of the benefits that it has for our hair, our body, and mind. On that note, I would like to encourage everyone to join in the discussion. Share in the comment section what you're learning in this conversation and tag 2 friends. We actually have a little giveaway for you. The best answer wins a personalized Aveda hair care regimen curated by HairMNL and Aveda experts. And since you're here, don't forget to like HairMNL on Instagram and Facebook. Here on these platforms, you'll be able to get in touch with salon professionals and get expert advice and guidance from people like our wonderful guest today. Also, we have a special promo coming up, so keep watching until the end. Okay, so before anything else, let's get up close and personal with our special guest today. And I'm sure a lot of people want to know, Kate, what exactly is an expert perfumer? And why did you choose to become one?
Yeah, and it's a good question. An expert perfumer is a person who has been trained to use aromatic raw materials to create fragrances. And a perfumer needs to have both a background in science as well as sort of an artistic flair to be able to create fragrances that are both beautiful, but that are also going to be chemically stable and work in the products that they need to work in. I decided to be a perfumer when I was studying chemistry in university. I was doing this chemistry degree, and I realized that I wasn't really super passionate about chemistry, and I felt like I had this creative part of me that I wasn't really getting to explore. I wasn't really getting to use as much as I really wanted to. I didn't really know what to do about that until one day my mom gave me this book about the chemistry of scents, the chemistry of fragrances. And as soon as I read that book, I knew, like, this is what I want to do. I want to grow up and be a perfumer. So that's how I got into it.
It's amazing. And I love that This is like your passion since you were a kid, and without even knowing, it was your passion, and now you're doing it full time. You're pursuing your dream. And that is actually how you eventually came to work with Aveda to develop these aromatic professional hair care treatments. So to those who don't know much about Aveda, how would you best describe the experience with the brand?
So the Aveda brand is really built on a mission for caring for the world we live in and giving back to society. So that's why when we create our formulas, we really focus on creating products that use natural and naturally derived ingredients that are vegan and plant-based. That's really, really important to us. It's also really important to us that the people who are using our products, the people in the salons, the artists, the people who are using our products at home, we want to make sure that when we're making these products, that they're working, that they actually are saying what the products say they will. And we want to make sure that we're creating products that are effective solutions for all different types of hair. That's all really, really important and really part of the brand experience. But when I think about the Aveda experience, I feel like there's a little bit more to it than that, because it's not just about how the products make you look. It also is about how the products make you feel. And I think that aroma has a really important part to play in that. So you might know that if you've gone and gotten your hair cut at an Aveda salon, you might know that the artist will guide you through an aroma ritual before your service begins. So you'll be asked to choose an aroma, one of our iconic aromas. This one is beautifying, but you could choose Shampoo or rosemary mint. And they'll give you like this little neck and head massage that just relaxes you and really makes you feel good. And that's really, I think, a crucial part of the brand, is not only looking good, but having these products that make you feel better after you used them.
You're so right, Kate. And that brings me back to my first experience with Aveda. When I entered the salon, they immediately led me to their aromatherapy counter. And it was a different experience, because usually, like when you get your hair cut, you go to a salon, you just sit down and you sort of like choose like what hairstyle you want. But this with Aveda, it's just a different experience. And it was all about, it's a multi-sensorial experience, and I love that the sense of smell is such a huge part of it. This is something I've always been curious about, and I wanted to ask you this. How are natural ingredients incorporated in the creation of scents for the products?
So all of our aromas are created using only natural and naturally derived ingredients. That's really, really important to us. And it's actually why I use this word aroma rather than the word fragrance, because I think that fragrance usually has a connotation of using synthetic ingredients. And so I use this word aroma to kind of connote the fact that we're using only natural and naturally derived ingredients. And I personally love using natural ingredients in our aromas, because I feel like using naturals, you get so much complexity and richness from using them. The other thing that to me is really that I just love about using natural materials is that when you're using a natural, you're not using a chemical that's been manufactured in a lab. You're using something that's been grown in the earth, that's been nurtured by people. They have all these stories and diverse people and cultures behind them. They have more emotion to them. And I feel like you can have a connection with other people on this planet by using the materials that they're making. So that's really important to me, and that's part of why I love using natural materials.
Oh gosh, you put it so beautifully. I love it. I love how it's not just about nature, it's about the people who grow the ingredients. And these ingredients themselves are so complex, and there's so much to them, as you said, as compared to synthetic fragrances.
Exactly.
And I really love knowing and learning more about this. Now, I can't even fathom on what scale this happens, but how are these ingredients sourced?
At Aveda, the sourcing of our materials is really important, and using ethical and sustainable sourcing methods is at the core of our mission. as I mentioned, using natural materials, it means that they come from the land and there's people behind them. But it also means that they can be susceptible to the forces of nature. So we have to deal with things sometimes like low yields or shortages, or crop to crop variation between years, or sometimes natural disasters. And so we have to make sure that we're sourcing our materials in a very sustainable way if we want to continue to be making these products for many years to come, which we do. So the way that we like to work is by developing long-term relationships with suppliers and partners who have the same sustainability values that we do. And then by creating those long-term relationships, we're able to have an influence over the industry and influence over the types of sourcing that occurs. So for example, over 95% of the essential oils that we use are certified organic. And we've been able to have an influence over that by having those long-term partnerships where we're able to then influence more farmers, more suppliers to convert to organic farming, which is important to us because it means that the farmers are less exposed to pesticides. It's good for the soil health. It's good for biodiversity. So all of those things, that sustainable, traceable sourcing is really something that we're always working on and always trying to improve.
Wow, it's just giving me such a newfound appreciation for the brand. I really love it. I love hearing stuff like this. Just makes me want to support the brand even more. And okay, another question I have, what makes these brands with in-house perfumers so different?
It's a really good question because I think that a lot of people don't necessarily realize how special it is that Aveda has an in-house perfumer. I don't know of a single other hair care brand that has an in-house perfumer. Most other hair care, beauty, fragrance brands, they don't. They work with specialized companies called fragrance houses. And those fragrance houses develop their fragrances, their scents for them. But the fact that we don't do that, it gives us a couple of advantages. First of all, it allows us to have that sustainable sourcing that I was talking about. Because of the fact that we're buying all of our ingredients, we know where they come from, and we have control over that. We have control over what we put into our products because we're making them on site. But it also gives us a couple of other advantages. One thing that I think is really special about the Aveda brand and ties back into that experience piece is that we think about the aroma from the very beginning of the project. So if we're coming out with a new product, we think about what that aroma is going to be like at the very beginning of the project, all the way through the end. Because we have in-house perfumers, we can have so much more attention to detail when it comes to the aroma. I can work really closely with my partners in research and development and in product development so that we're really optimizing the aroma for the product, for the particular product.
Wow, and it must be a dream for you to be working with all these organic ingredients and having so much control over them, like what goes with what and having full access to all of these things.
It's amazing, yes.
And so a lot of people judge products based on how they smell. I know I definitely do this, but with Aveda, the scent isn't just cosmetic. I love that about Aveda, but it is also indicative of the benefits that each bottle has. So this gives me such a newfound appreciation, as I said before, for the brand. And I'm just so happy to learn so much about what you do, Kate, and how important these things are when buying hair care products, or really just products in general. Because these are things we don't really think of. Like most of the time, we just go for the packaging, but we don't really think sustainable, ethical, like what is good for us, what ingredients are good for our bodies. And Aveda is able to give all of that and more. I love that. Okay, and with that, I'm so excited to talk more about the benefits of these scents. Before that, just a quick reminder, with the holidays upon us and a lot of people getting ready to shop safely online, you will be glad to know that you can give them the gift of great hair. And that is such a wonderful gift, of course. My advice, wait until the end of this program for a special voucher. So you can shop for all your pro hair care essentials at HairMNL.com. So if you're not sure of what to get, HairMNL has got you covered. HairMNL has got the experts to help you navigate the world of professional hair care, and you can message your experts about your hair concerns today on Facebook. Now, I'm sure, now that we know more about Kate, I'm sure many of you watching want to know more about exploring different scents. So let's just dive right into it with Kate sharing her expertise with us. Okay, Kate, so I've always wondered about this, but I could never get the answer I was looking for. Why is the sense of smell so important to our psyche? Like, how does something we smell have such a powerful effect on how we feel?
The answer to that is really a neuroscience answer, actually. Our sense of smell is directly connected to the limbic system in the brain, which is responsible for memories and emotions. So who hasn't had the experience of smelling something and having it bring back a really visceral memory, or smelling something and immediately feeling better? I know that if I have a bad day, I know that I like to smell some bergamot essential oil or neroli essential oil, because it just reminds me of being on vacation. It's very relaxing. We also have, I have here the Stress Fix rollerball aroma, which has been proven to relieve feelings of stress. It has lavender, lavandin, and clary sage in it. And that one's always a very handy one to have in your pocket for whenever you're getting a little bit stressed.
It's such an instant mood changer, and I love that every time I shampoo and condition my hair with Aveda, it just changes my day immediately, just from based on the aroma that I'm just taking it all in. It's just a mood changer, a day changer, and I love that about Aveda. And it's so true about not fragrance,
aromas.
Aromas. Yes, I'm never gonna.
It's okay. Yeah.
I'm never gonna mix the two again, because now I know the difference between the two terms. Now, Kate, can you tell us more about the creation of the aroma of some of Aveda's collections, namely the Nutriplenish, the Invati? Is it Invati? Shampure, the Chakras, and Sap Moss. What benefits do they provide?
So whenever we're creating a new, when I'm creating a new aroma for a product at Aveda, I like to think about, there's a couple of different things I think about. So I think about what the product proposition is going to be, what the product is going to be used for, and who's going to be using the product. I think about how the product is going to be used. Is it going to be a leave-on product, or like a styling product, or is it going to be something that's going to be used in the shower? And I think about what the historical aromatherapy and what aromatherapeutic ingredients could be used to give or enhance the desired end benefit that I want. So, for example, I have here a very light bottle of Nutriplenish, because I love this shampoo and I use it all the time. And the Nutriplenish, it's so good.
Yeah.
The Nutriplenish, the whole project for Nutriplenish was about harnessing the power of superfoods to be able to nourish and hydrate your hair. And so in creating the aroma, we wanted to create something that would use those superfood ingredients in the aroma as well. So this has notes of cocoa, ginger, cardamom, lemongrass, all things that are also used in cooking. But from a perfumery perspective, you also don't want, you want the product to reinforce you want the aroma to reinforce the idea that the product has. So you don't want your hair to feel too heavy after using a hydrating shampoo. You want it to be hydrated but still light. And so I also used a lot of citrus notes and light fresh notes to keep it from being too foody or too heavy. It also has obviously aromatherapeutic ingredients. So for example, ylang ylang is used in this, which is known historically in aromatherapy to have balancing properties. So that's really how we would create something like this. The other aroma that I could talk about is the shampure aroma. I think that something that's really interesting about Aveda is that being in Minnesota, I hear, and working at the Aveda brand, I hear people say a lot, oh, this smells like Aveda, or you smell like Aveda. And it doesn't necessarily matter what product I've used. They could be smelling rosemary mint, or they could be smelling Nutriplenish, and they'll still say, this smells like Aveda. And what is that? Why does Aveda have this specific aroma? It has to do with, first of all, the fact that all of our aromas, I think, have this element of nature to them. When you smell them, you know that there's something that's natural smelling about them, which I think just there's an emotional connection with that. But they're also very complex. And I think that Shampure, right now I have the Shampure Hand Relief, but I also like to use the Shampure Hydrating Lotion or the Shampure shampoo and conditioner. It has a very calming aroma with lavender, clary sage, and petitgrain. But when you smell it, you don't necessarily get each single ingredient. It's a very complex formula that smells, it has these different facets, and it has different layers to it. And I think that's really what makes Aveda smell like Aveda. Our products smell natural, but they also are blended in a very artistic and creative way.
And you do it so well. I mean, I try out different Aveda products, and I just get surprised. And it's just such a sensorial, such a sensorial experience. I love taking a shower thanks to Aveda and using Aveda products on me. It's just wonderful. It's something that everyone can relate to. Like if once they use Aveda every single day, it's like you've been a part of our day in a sense. And thank you for that.
I'm glad to hear it.
Now, how long does the aroma of naturally derived ingredients last? Because I think some people have this connotation that if it's natural, then it shouldn't last very long, or the synthetic may probably last on me longer. And does that differ between beauty products? Also, is there a certain journey from smelling the aroma from the bottle to its diffusion in the shower?
Yes. So with the first question about the how long natural aromas last, it really comes down to how an aroma is constructed, because ingredients that have bigger, heavier molecules, it comes down to chemistry really. So an essential oil that has big, heavy molecules like patchouli or vetiver, those are going to be longer lasting, whereas essential oils that have a composition that has more small, light, volatile molecules that evaporate more easily, that's not going to last very long. So it comes down to perfumery skill and constructing an aroma that is able to last longer and be stronger. It definitely does depend on the product type that you're using, because obviously something that's going to be a shampoo where you're rinsing the product out, it's not going to last as long because you've just rinsed it out. Whereas a styling product that you're leaving on your hair is going to have a longer lasting effect. And then if you layer different products, so if you use the shampoo and then the conditioner and then the styling product and maybe a body lotion or something like that, if you have it, that's going to cause the scent to last longer and last you throughout the day.
I love that you gave us tips on how to make fragrance last longer. You just gave us wonderful tips and ideas that we can use every day.
Yeah, I love to do that. I love to make sure that I'm layering different products to make sure that that my products last a little bit longer and that I can continue to smell those aromatherapeutic benefits throughout the day. And then there's definitely a journey as well from smelling the product in the bottle to washing your hair with something. And that's a really big part of my job, actually, because when we first start and you're just smelling the pure ingredients and then you're making the pure aroma concentrate, it smells very different, actually, than when you start putting it into the shampoo or conditioner bases. And then it smells different also when you have it in the shower and you're washing your hair with it. And so that's part of my job is making sure that I'm evaluating it at every single step of the way, and making sure that when I go and wash my hair with it, that it's having this bloom in the shower, that you can smell it as you're washing your hair, and it's giving that experience that I was hoping for when I was smelling those individual raw materials.
Just one of the many things unique to Aveda, of course. Aveda is not only good for creating healthy hair and an immersive self-care experience through its pure fume, it is also working on making a better world for us. So, Kate, can you tell us your experience with Aveda's mission towards sustainability?
Yes, I would love to, because the Aveda's mission towards sustainability really drives every decision that we make. So I already talked a little bit about how it drives our sourcing and our formulation, the reason that we choose these vegan ingredients and naturally derived ingredients. But also, even if you were to come and visit the Aveda corporate headquarters, which is located in Blaine, Minnesota, you would see that it's located on a 58-acre preserve that's been National Wildlife Federation certified. So the employees, when people are actually in the office, which is now a lot of people are working from home, but when people are in the office, you'll see wildlife go past your window. I've seen deers, turkeys. I have like a little groundhog that lives kind of near my window. Wow. We have honeybee colonies. So even everything down to the way that our corporate headquarters is structured, we're really thinking about sustainability. We have compost and recycling bins throughout, because that's obviously so important to us. We also recently turned on our new solar array that's just been built. It was turned on in June 2020. And so now our manufacturing facility is being powered by this solar array that we've created, and any extra energy that's being created by the solar array is going back to the grid, which is so amazing.
Oh my goodness. I did not realize that your company is the way it is. And it really practices sustainability, like from the inside out. Like, as you've described your office, it seems like the perfect office to work in. Everything is organic. Oh my goodness, that's like a dream come true. And you're doing such good things. And I'm happy to hear from you that Aveda really is true to its word. And it really, gosh, it's like, I love Aveda so much now. It's like even more. I mean, I love what it stands for, but now even more, like knowing from their employee that they are really doing such great things. I mean, even just from their office, and I want to visit Aveda.
Yes, you're very welcome to visit. It's really something that's so important to us and guides everything that we do. And every person who works at Aveda it really personally values sustainability and the environment. So it's a great place to work.
Okay, when I'm in Minnesota, I'm going to make time for that.
Next time, yeah.
I'm going to drop by the Aveda office, and that just sounds so wonderful. It's like, my goodness. Okay, so this has been such an eye-opening and informative discussion about fragrance, scents, and of course, the wonderful brand we all know and love, which is Aveda. So, Kate, I'm so happy, and I'm so happy that you've imparted to us such wonderful knowledge that has allowed everyone here watching right now, and myself included, to really appreciate our sense of smell, how fragrances are made, and how Aveda is able to find sustainable and ethical ways to deliver the best natural ingredients to us. I'm so glad to see that something that is great for our hair can also be great for shaping a better and more environmentally conscious world. And now that all of you watching know more about Aveda, as I do now, and it's pure fume aromas, now is your chance to try them for yourself. Use the code SHOPAVEDA and get 100 pesos off for a minimum purchase of 1,000 pesos on any Aveda item. Plus, the first 20 customers to use the code can get a free travel size Sap Moss shampoo and conditioner. So hurry and shop now at HairMNL. Thank you so much to everyone for listening in. And thank you so much, Kate, for imparting such wonderful knowledge. Like, I'm I'm just so blown away. I have newfound appreciation for the brand Aveda and for my sense of smell.
Thanks, Kelly. It's been great to talk to you.
Thank you so much. And if you guys enjoy more main talks like this, don't forget to follow HairMNL on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. This has been Kelly Misa Fernandez. I hope to see you all again soon. Goodbye.